Story. Tilda Midoriya Pav Tilda. I'm dead, aren't I? Time seemed to slow down as I saw Ochako's parents starting at me with judgment. Their heavy glares seemed to suffocate me and I began moving my hand away from Ochako. Just pretend like nothing happened. As soon as my hand was almost free I felt Ochako grab it once again and held on tightly. I frantically turned to look at her as I tried to communicate with my eyes. Are you trying to kill me? But she just smiled at me and turned back to her parents. Mom, Dad, this is Midoriya Izuku and well, I watched as she blushed. Usually I would have found this endearing but by blushing in front of her parents I felt like she was adding more death wishes to be bestowed upon me. Okay fine, let me just sign my death certificate already please. He's my BB boyfriend, she said softly and then she quickly hugged my arm and smiled again. I am dead, I am super dead. I turned towards her parents expecting to see a concerned mother and a furious father. However, instead I saw two loving parents and a father that seemed to be a little sad. I'm not dead, I can live, yes, mommy, daddy. I heard from behind me Eri came running up to us and she smiled jumping up and down. Ochako smiled back and picked up Eri in her arms. Wait, her parents don't know about Eri so. I turned back to her parents and saw shock written all over their faces. Honey, our daughter has a daughter. Her father said slowly, I have a grandchild, and my sweet little baby has a boyfriend. Suddenly she came running up to me and hugged me, Mrs. Uraraka. I said, oh sorry. She responded and she stopped hugging me. I'm just so glad to know that my Ochako has a boyfriend. Ochako pouted and blushed, Mom. Eri stared at the Mrs. Uraraka and waved at her saying, what's a boyfriend? Finally something that Mina hasn't told her. Nothing. I quickly said inside, would you two like to come in the house? I saw as Mrs. Uraraka walked in with Ochako and Eri and started chatting with one another. Meanwhile Mr. Uraraka seemed to still be processing what just happened but luckily enough All Might arrived just on time. Good I don't have to strike up an awkward conversion by myself. Soon after the pussycats came and dropped off Koda, making sure that he had all the stuff he would need to be educated and to live here. After we all went into the house and all the girls shoved us boys into the living room saying that they needed privacy. Eri and Koda however went into Eri's room to play with her toys. Okay weird. Midoriya Shonen. Yes All Might, we need to take about your relationship with Ochako. I flushed red and frantically waved my hands, what? There's nothing to talk about. Why did my voice have to crack? Promoted stories. You'll also like, Forever, Mono X6, Little Nightmares. 18.5K 750. Cover by Gabawook, the sequel to the first book in the series, and Quat, together, and Quat. I highly recommend you read that book first so you can be all caught up on the events. Fox Clan VX Male Reader, Smut. 26.3K 182. V is from the Fox Clan. And you're from the Oni clan. Both of your clans were wiped out by a great evil. Even though the two of you are from rival clans, you make a truce. Arranged to love and arranged marriage story. 18.2K 518. It's a story where two people come together, one thinks it's destiny whereas another think it's luck. Their journey with their friends with lot of twists and turns. But, Grace and Love Blink X Mifa. 65K 778. Book 4 is out, remaster on AO3. Mifa and Link had been growing a strong relationship with each other before the calamity struck. Will the calamity be stopped and all? Winanihahodine. 455K 24.5K. Warning warning party taithkuma samipki lutatyautnea youthkamatal. Eliuik kyawantotalo teshinkpyanatal. Kankauntar taithkik suk kyawantatko mamhatmapu. H katamashite CEO nay. Ishki Kahani. 4.5M 251K in quad. Stop trying to act like my fiance because I don't give a damn about you. And quad. His words echoed through the room, breaking my remaining hopes. Alize, the badass. The Unfinished Tales of Love Part 2. 289K 34.5K. This is the second part of Unwanted Wife of Mafia King. If you are new, then please read the first part, otherwise you will not understand this part at all. It is said to. Another voice spoke up. I would also like to heard about your relationship. Mr. Uraraka paused and turned to look at me, with my daughter. Midoriya, why? Did you even think for a second that you were gonna make it out alive? Tilda Ochako Pav Tilda. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Did I just call Deku my boyfriend? So you have a boyfriend, huh? A teasing voice said. Mom. I snapped back quietly. Yeah. Well, I paused and smiled nervously. Can we start making to food? My mom pouted at me and rolled her eyes. Fine, she paused. This Midoriya guy is quite the gentleman though. Mom, this is so embarrassing. Suddenly Ms. Midoriya looked at me with a smile. I still can't believe my Izuku has a girlfriend. I flushed red and nodded back. Let's get started on the food then. Right, my mom and Ms. Midoriya helped me prepare the food, and after we finished we called everyone over to eat. Izuku, are you okay? He looked somewhat between the borderline of confused and relieved. Yeah, I'm fine, Ochako. We both then heard little squeals from both of our moms and we chuckled at each other, realizing what we just did. I said his first name. In front of my family and his mom and All Might. All Might smiled at Izuku and was about to say something when Eri busted into the room. Time to eat? She asked. Yes, time to eat. Okay, she said, but bowed as saying, Prince Kota will now enter the dinner room. Eri then looked to her left and gestured for Kota to show himself. Eri, do I? He paused. Princess Eri the first can't. Eri simply ran out of sight and came back with Kota by her side. Eri was already wearing a princess dress to begin with in her paper crown that we made yesterday with Deku. However, she was somehow about to convince Kota to wear a royal cape, just a small blanket, and he had a paper crown on his head as well. They look so cute. I quickly took out my phone and took a picture before Kota noticed and put it away. Let's eat, Eri said and grabbed Kota's hand, leading him to the dining table. Kota, on the other hand, seemed to not want to be present at the moment. His face had a faint pink blush and he tried his best to cover his face. All Might smiled and said, It seems that there are two new couples at the table today. Anyways, let's eat. During the whole entire meal I would glance over at Izuku to see his reaction. After all, I made the pork cutlet bowl, especially for him, all by myself, with a few instructions from Ms. Midoriya. Does he like it? Did I add too much salt? Made I added too much oil? Please tell me I didn't mess this up. If I did mess it up, at least he doesn't know I made it. Is it good? I asked cautiously. Izuku looked at me and smiled. His eyes seemed to sparkle as he stated, It's delicious, and he continued eating. We all finished our meal with a couple more teasing from our parents and All Might. Our classmates came over after a while and All Might and our parents left since they didn't want to intrude on the youngsters, at least that is what my dad said. The girl teased me constantly and soon our classmates departed too. Eri and Kota quickly changed into their PJs and went to sleep since it was getting late. Meanwhile, Izuku and I started cleaning up all the decorations and putting away the leftover food. I need to talk to him. Blank, underscore, Blank, underscore I know I awkward why to end this chapter. I just wanted to hurry up and get to the good cute fluffy stuff. Unfortunately that will come next chapter. Sorry XD also surprisingly, I wasn't lazy again. I feel like I am disrupting something in the universe, but oh well. Anyways, as always there will be mistake and stay safe guys. CYA, tilde the final night fury. Where stories live, discover now.